Intimacy reveals the pathway of the enemy when he tries to come in during one of the greatest impartations. Let me tell you the strategy of the enemy. That's the day you getting downloads from God. The word of God is coming. Oh my God, you're getting revelation. Things are happening, right? And then all of a sudden, right in the middle of a great revelation, here comes some target from the enemy. Intimacy will cause you to discern when that arrow comes, and you just let it do a duck back. Intimacy gives you sharp eyes to strategize things and see it instantly. Some people be like, how you saw that so quickly? Intimacy taps you in. Do you know intimacy will cause you to have a vision even before it happened? And then right when you walk in a place, you go, uh-oh, this was the dream. Uh-oh, this is it. And then you wait. So when it happened, you don't get all crazy. You just go, I got you. My God already prepared me. And you know what? You go like cool Carrie. Just walk with it. You know why? Because on the inside, you strapped. Like, I'm not going to make me act like a fool. No, I'm not going to do that. Next, when a person is trying to get God's hand to move, you know, many of the great missionaries and great people of God, they did all kinds of things trying to get God to move. I could remember when they would sell everything they had, they would leave their families and really believe they were being led by God. But that's not God. That's not God. But they really just want to please God. But you know what? They get off on the wrong hand. That's the reason why it's important to stay in intimacy. God's not going to tell you, well, prophetess, the Lord told me to quit my job. What about your wife and 5 kids? What about the mortgage? Tell me you got the $1 million miracle and go ahead on and quit, brother. Quit. Pay the house off, pay the car, pay everything off, and do what you need to do. Because God is a God of order. But sometimes they get so mixed in because they're not deep enough. They grab a call, they get a calling, and it may be a true calling. And I know many people. See, everybody's not Smith Wigglesworth, who just take his family to Africa with no house, nowhere to go, and just show up at the train station and, you know, a rich lady comes and give him a mansion. Everybody don't have that. You got to make sure you hear. Intimacy will cause you to be tapped into God and know those voices. Intimacy helps you to balance and be pure. You're not going to get tainted. Intimacy makes you dedicate everything to God. What do I mean by that? How you live, all your decisions, how you think, what you buy, where you go. You might say, well, prophetess, it takes over. Exactly. Intimacy begins to rule. Intimacy is spiritual. See, some people just think somebody gave you a paper with your name on it and told you you were now a minister. I'm not impressed. Show me what you're walking in. Can I follow you home? How you deal with your kids? How you deal with your husband? Have you converted him yet? Oh, ouch. Yeah. Intimacy will tap you into that thing. And God will show you how to walk that thing through. See, you have to understand that if you're going to walk and live for God, it's got to be spiritual, righteous, holy, and clean. How you going to get intimacy with God without those things? One lady was telling me she was going to bingo. She was just doing stuff. I was like, and you going tomorrow and prophesy? I said, somewhere we done missed something. Some boat passed by and you missed the boat. So now let's talk about God's character. How we know him. What's he really like? Do you know that God is funny? You know, he's a strategizer, just like he strategized with David. Yeah, he tricked Saul up and he tricked him up. He said, go on this side of the mountain. He said, we're gonna bypass them. He's a warrior. Yes, he's a warrior. Do you know he's a destroyer? You know God will destroy people that try to trick you up. Oh, see, y'all say, you know, prophetess, the Lord is merciful. Yeah, but he's a man with a sword, too. You ain't read the full word. Oh, okay. You know, the Bible describes the character of God as loving, compassionate, gracious, slow to anger, faith-filled, and he moves through his power, working in the lives of God's people. He works through you. But he said he's slow to anger. Slow, which means he don't pop off every time you just do something. You know how some of these religious people tell you the minute you do something, God gonna kill you. God gonna kill you. There are some people today not in church anymore because somebody told them. I'm like, wait, how old were you when they told you this? Send his kids to church, refused to go to church because somebody told him when he was 19. No, that's not God. That's not God. For those of you who would like scriptures just on knowing the character of God, it's Exodus 34, 6 and 7, Psalms 103, 8 and 9, and Romans 8, 28, and Ephesians 3 and 20. So let's talk about the different two sides of God. Did you know that God has a gentle side? I've seen that. Gentle, sweet, merciful. Psalms 103 and 8. The Lord is merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and abounding in steadfast love. See, he's not like your ex-boyfriend, just dump you because you gained 5 pounds. Or somebody else say, well, you ain't got enough degrees, or your hair too short. Or I don't like your mama and I don't like your daddy. So you got to go. That's not the way he is. Joseph waited 13 years before being released from prison. And eventually he elevated to a position of power. Oh, come on, y'all. There's an analogy in that. Sometimes some of y'all just got to wait it out. Sometimes when God make you wait it out, he making you an anchor. So when he raise you up, nothing and no one can pull you down. See, Moses was on the backside of the mountain. Then become a sheep hurdler in Midian. And if you study Midian, that was a pagan people. But God was preparing him even among the pagan people. Joseph, 13 years, and then he raises up in position of power in Egypt, for those of you over religious. God could show himself anywhere he wants to. He showed it in Egypt, right? And put him over, all for a purpose. So today I'm just telling you that God got purpose for where you are. Prophetess, I've been waiting so long. You just don't understand. Baby, he got purpose for your waiting. There's a plan. How many of y'all know that God has a plan for your life? Sometimes you just don't understand what the plan is. God is such a numbers man. Sometimes he's waiting on a certain time of maturity for you. But let's talk about the other side of God. God has a side of terror. He does. Jeremiah was praying for Israel. But this same loving God, the one that said, y'all say, God know my heart? Guess what he said in Jeremiah 7 and 16 to 34? Therefore, do not pray for this people, nor lift up a cry or prayer for them, nor make intercession to me, for I will not hear you on the behalf of these people. Now, who that is? Somebody tell me who that is. He said, look, Jeremiah, I don't even care if Moses and Samuel were standing before him. Don't tell me nothing about these people. No, y'all need to read this. Jeremiah 15, 1 and 2. And it describes how God responds to Jeremiah. And I'm just like, what? He says, and God says that he would not be favorable towards the people, even if Moses and Samuel were standing before him. So what does that say? I don't care who you bring. Don't pray for these. I'm not doing nothing with these people. That same loving God, he's a God of order, and he'll pop the whip. So the character of God is loving and merciful. He's all powerful based on Matthew 19 and 26. He's everywhere based on Psalms 139, 7 and 10. He's all-knowing on 1 Chronicles 28 and 9. So deeper intimacy. Now, this is what I call intimacy that God dealt with me, and I'm going to hope that you grab a hold to this. John 15 and 14, he gave me that scripture, and he said, Miranda, abide in me, and I will in you. I said, well, Lord, what I've been doing? I've been walking on, I started walking every day. watch these beautiful houses. And I talk to the Lord, going and coming, going and coming. Walk 2 miles, going and coming. I said, Lord, I don't understand. He said, abide. So I said, well, Lord, I don't understand what that means. He said, no, you tap in, but you don't abide. So that could be one reason. Next is James 4:8. He said, draw near to God and he will draw near to you. He said, no, you just expect me to do stuff. He said, you draw to me and then I'm going to draw to you. Because some of y'all entitled. Y'all think, the Lord know where I'm at. You religious thing, you. James 4:8, draw near to God and he will draw near to you. Jeremiah 2:2. I remember the devotion of it. He says, remember the devotion of your youth. So when I was dissecting that, you be scared of God when you're young, You talk to the Lord. Do you know how many people that I meet, God would give visions, revelation, prophecies. He would show them things going to happen in their family. But somehow when they get to certain ages and they get so much going on in their lives, it go away. But it says, remember the devotion of your youth, how as a bride you loved me and followed me through the desert. That means thirst. Give me my time. Okay. God will give you word drops. Now, the Song of Solomon is an allegory of Christ's love for the church. I remember one time, the Lord kept telling me, I said, Lord, how do I love you more? I said, Lord, teach me to love you more. And so he would just give me these words about him. And I would just start saying the words. And I kept telling everybody, I said, he's altogether lovely. And I said, oh. I wonder where I got that from. And they start making a joke out of it. They said, they would mark me, right? They think I didn't know it. But what they didn't know is because they wasn't strapped in the word, it was a scripture. See, when you're dealing with them Baptist people. And one time I caught a lady when I turned my back, she was doing it, and she was marking me, right? And I said, the Lord is just altogether lovely. And I said, oh my God. I said, just so you don't know, I just want you to know, please go to Psalms 5:16 and read it for me. The Lord will give you words to give back to him. Now I'm going to tell you about my love walk with him. So there are days that he deposits himself in me in a magnitude way. That sometimes if I just start saying words like, I love you, God, there's a power that comes up. Prophetic comes up. My discernment gets sharper. I hear the cries of people, and that's when you get the 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning call from me. The drops come. You want to be able to walk in greater places with God, you need to fall in love with him. You're not deep enough in love with him. I know some of y'all say, Prophetess, we thought you was going to say fast 40 days. And no. Just fall in love with him. You fall in love with him, you'll be able to fast 40 days. You fall in love with him, and you'll be able to get rid of boo. And booze and booze and booze. You'll be able to get rid of all of them. Because the love begin to fill that hole as to the reason why you got to have the boo. See, the Lord, as you begin to fall in love with the Lord, do you know you'll begin to yearn for him? You'll begin to yearn for him, and he'll begin to answer you. Next one is going to be Psalms 119. And it talks about meditating on the word day and night. That is what calls you to be able to know the deeper things in God, is meditating on the word. Now, when I experienced his love, I got my first visitation. There were days that I would hear his whisper. In the middle of the night, I didn't even need any alarm clocks anymore. You know how you make your alarm clock ring and make you wake up and pray? I didn't need to do that. Because he said, you gave me all of your heart. So who has your heart? Tell me who has that place. Do you know whoever has that place is an idol? Oh, I'm trying to tell somebody something. They are an idol, and you need to get that idol out of God's place. Oh, my goodness. When we talk to God, we open up our hearts to him. Warfare stops prayer. It does. Think about it. See, when you get something on you, sometimes that enemy will confuse your mind, and next thing you know, you stop that consecrated prayer. Warfare reminds you of the previous thing that the enemy has done you or allowed and attacked your family. Next thing is warfare confuse your mind. But intimacy will restore your prayer life. It will cause you to forgive those people. It will loose peace where that confusion was. And then it will keys you. Intercession made me get into a place. I didn't know prophetic intercession. Till one day I had this person in my heart that I couldn't get rid of. I said, Lord, I don't understand. And he told me, he said, pray for her, her family, and her children, and pray blessings, and don't stop until. I said, okay. So every day for an hour, I prayed for blessings. I prayed for covering. Do you know it got to the time that I forgot it was past an hour and I was going into 2 hours praying for them? The husband got a car dealership. She got 2 extra jobs. She called me and told me, and she said, I got a chance for 2 different jobs. They got a new house. He said, now you pray for breakthrough. He said, you pray till your heart prays for her freely. And guess what? I looked at her one Sunday and I was able to pray blessings, and the Lord gave me prophecy for them. And there was nothing in the heart because intimacy had set in. You know, the Bible tells us to wait upon the Lord. Some of y'all are too anxious. Y'all don't want to wait. The deeper things from God come through waiting. Some of y'all just want it anxiously. The word of the Lord is the word of the Lord. It's going to happen. See, like that man right there sitting next to Sarah? Touch the gentleman. See, like him? There's a word of the Lord being given to you. It's going to happen. There's a line of things that's got to happen before that. You're going to be great. You have the word of the Lord in your mouth. God's going to lift you up higher. You're going to go back and deal with those that dealt with you, and you're going to be transformed from the top to the bottom. Wealth is already your portion. Stop praying for it. It's already there. But see, you're on a plan and a journey with God. And you for him. He wants to put himself so in you that when prophecy come out of your mouth, they don't even question it. Oh, Rabashe. I hear the Lord say, tell him he's mine. He belonged to me. He said, not many days from now, you and him going to take a walk. And he said, he going to transform you in a way. Revelatory knowledge will be yours. Mandel, Rabba, Sheke, and that unique thing that you prayed for. Because I understand you a man out the box. Yeah, you out the box. You don't do stuff like other people. I don't know this man. I just want to know. If I'm not right, you can just tell me I'm not right. Yeah, he don't do things like other people. And they pick on him because of it. But see, that's God's display in you. All you got to do is, I'm going to pray for God to give you a mentor, but you need a prophetic mentor. You don't need these people trying to put you in no box. See, because you God's masterpiece. And there's going to be a word of the Lord going to be put in your mouth that's not going to be like nobody else's. Boy, but the glory going to be on it that they won't be able to deny it. Oh, I could say some more. I could read you some more of your history, but it's okay. And that childhood thing, the Lord said he going to pluck that thing out and make it a testimony. Now you take that. Because see, he was judging me. He was like, does she know what she's saying? I said, you know prophecy. The Lord will say, he judged. I said, what? Let me go back in that childhood and grab something. That was just for a moment. Okay. What's my timing? Prophetic wisdom to love him. Okay, this is going to be, I love to give personal knowledge. I do not apologize for it because it's caused many people to walk in the great lofty places because they could relate to it. So this is some prophetic wisdom to love God. Discerning the winds of change. When you begin to walk in the fullness of intimacy, you know when things start changing. I walked into a job one time, and I felt the winds of change when I put my feet in the door. He said, this is going to end. He said, start preparing. They didn't even understand. I started packing up. They didn't know what I was doing. I was just packing up. I didn't know when it was. 14 days later, gone. Because see, intimacy allows you to know the winds of change. Oh yeah, I've looked at people and I go, oh, the Lord said she can return on you. And I was like, and she said, I would never do that. 12 days later, another face order. The winds of change will get so strategic when it's intimacy. And some of you may say, well, prophetess, you don't have intimacy. Well, baby, you want more. Because true intimacy make you want more and more and more. You literally yearn to be with him. You get so frustrated because people trying to talk to you. You want them to just shut up because you're trying to hear. You love being alone because you want the downloads. You know, God's voice is so whole and soothing. So what is whole? Wanting nothing. Oh, no, y'all didn't get that. How many of y'all know what it is to really want nothing? Whatever you want, God, wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, no husband, yes, wife, no wife, fine, apartment, no, take the house, wanting nothing. That's whole. Number 2, ask God to talk to you. Thirst for him. Tell him, say, God, I want to have fellowship with you. How many of y'all like your husbands and your wives to talk to y'all? Married people, stand up. Wow. Whoa. Okay. Don't you like your mate to talk to you? Y'all don't like pillow talk? Yes. Come on. Okay. Men, don't say nothing, men. You the only one. See him? This the love doctor. Don't. He don't count. He don't count. He don't count. He talk till the cows come home, baby, just talk to me. He do, oh my God, that's the love doctor for just his new name. He just don't know it. The Lord gonna use him to go through this world to share how to love a woman. Seriously, amazing. Let me say this. Women, don't you want your husband just to hear your heart and stop talking and just hear your heart? Come on, women, right? Yeah, if I could just get this man, prophetess, just to hear me, right? Prophetess, he fall asleep on me. Prophetess, he tell me I take pillow talk too long. This is what they tell me, right? But when you love a man, you want him to know. You want him to know everything about you. And men, I'm sorry, women just talk a lot. They got a lot to say. You have to pray for stamina to be able to do pillow talk. Lord, give me strength to hear, Lord. And with a smile, you know, you gotta keep a smile, you're gonna be in trouble. You're gonna be in a doghouse. That's the way you have to, you guys can be seated. That's the way you have to talk to God. Say, Lord, I wanna fellowship with you. I want you to talk to me. I wanna hear you. You know, so number 3 is go to the high places in him. Elevate in honesty, repentance, and integrity. So you have to go to the high place. Come on, you got to go to the next place in God, to that greater place. You might say, well, prophetess, you know, I've had an experience. When? Back in 1990? That's great. But what about today? What about today? Tell me what he's done today. Next is the deeper place in God is knowing his character, knowing what he likes, what he don't like. Number 5, time with God is sweet. You know, they're going to get to a place that you're going to sit before God and, oh my God, the sweetness going to fall on you. You will love so much of the sweetness of God. Literally, you get lost in him. Somebody said, well, prophetess, why don't I have that? Because there's another God in you. Yeah. You want your husband to be your God? You want him to fix what's wrong with you? No, baby, you got to go to the heavens to get that thing fixed. Oh, somebody got mad at me. Your husband is not, he can't make you a new flower. He can give you some sunshine, but he can't make you a new flower. Only the one who made you can make you a new flower. That's it. And you can't make him a God. You're going to have to say, now, God, I got to go to you. Some of you said, well, prophetess, I went through this trauma and this happened. I'm down. This is what I believe. And it's, if I'm wrong, somebody can correct me. I'm okay. But I believe that when you know God intimately, baby, he'll feel that abuse. He'll feel that to the point you can't even remember it. Now, that is a full testimony. I got up on the offer floor one day and couldn't remember the pain. Do you understand? Tried to testify of it and couldn't recall it. He said, I've done a work in you. He said, now go heal them that what you once was hurting from. See, that's what I call real intimacy. Some of you all really want the supernatural. You want to walk in the glory. You can't pass intimacy. No. So you're going to walk in gifts and then go do crazy stuff and then nobody's going to respect your gift? No. Okay, next is going to be God will fill the holes in your heart. God, you got to know God also as a healer and a restorer. When intimacy comes, he began to give you testimonies. He began to allow the glory of God to fall upon you. So therefore, you begin to wake up with supernatural miracles of the healing of your heart. And God began to use you to begin to heal others. Next is when you only have God. I call it time of love. See, there come a time that everybody had let me down, and I was actually in a position where nobody in my family could help me. Now, see, I don't know if any of you all have ever been in that place, but I went in a place where nobody could help me but God. Nobody. They didn't have what I needed. They couldn't fix it. And that's when I saw the mighty hand of God. Intimacy will give you stability, his soundness, his touch, and his eyes. Let me talk about that. When true intimacy comes, I promise you the magnitude of what it took to get there will warrant the gifts to elevate. Then your sound, that means your ears will begin to know the sound of God. Some of you all say, well, prophetess, I don't know how to hear God's voice. You don't know his sound because there's another sound in you. There's a sound of trauma, abuse, abandonment. That's the reason why you blame your wife for all kind of stuff. Blame your husband for stuff. And the husband's like, wait, what you talking about me? You must be talking about your first husband. Because you got the sounds mixed up. But when you know the sound of God, oh my God, you can discern any other sound. Also, you will know his touch. I have been in a place where many times, people just blaming stuff. I'm like, oh my God. And the Lord will put a touch upon me. It looked like he almost put something before me where I was bulletproof. And the more they tried to shoot the bullets, the darts would not work. That's intimacy. Some of y'all want to know how to fight your enemies? Intimacy, that's it. Into him, you're covered, you're protected. There's a wall around you, and guess what? He'll rise you in glory right in the midst of your enemies. Okay. Using substitutes to replace God will hinder the touch. You know, intimacy gets you to the point that you'll do nothing but run to God. You don't worry about them church people fighting over stuff in there. You're bigger than that. Come on. Miracles should be happening in your life. You know, today I think I'm going to activate supernatural miracles in people's lives. But you got to get the intimacy.
It's time to release war on the enemy. Prophetic War and Decrees by Prophetess Miranda. Available now. Visit prophetessmiranda.com to order today.